I'm now going to turn this over to Sergeant Ewing's nephew, Asher, who will announce the pick in honor of his uncle.
With the 10th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select
J.J. McCarthy,
Michigan.
Oh, you hear the ovation. There have to be some mixed emotions in this room. They love him here, having led Michigan to a national championship, and now he goes to the arch rival Minnesota Vikings of their Detroit Lions. All right, so Jim Harbaugh said he's the greatest quarterback in Michigan history. He is now the first to go in round one since Harbaugh himself did in 1987. McCarthy made the college football playoff both his seasons as a starter. He threw 49 touchdowns for the Wolverines, ran for 10 more. And Lewis, pick up the thought you had a moment ago. He goes to a place where they are set up for success.
Absolutely. Look, it starts with the head coach meticulous. Josh McCown talked to him at the Combine. He's now the quarterback coach there in Minnesota, and he said, look, the thing that impresses him the most about Kevin O'Connell and his system is that they provide answers for the quarterback. There's nothing that a quarterback will come off the field and have a question about that he can't answer and provide a solution to. And when you have a guy who has that kind of ability to make those kinds of plays, you're not going to have to provide too many solutions for him once you kind of get him groomed, because J.J. McCarthy is a fantastic prospect. No, Michigan didn't rely on him and put games on his back after week after week. But when they called on him under pressure, get outside the pocket, convert on third down, convert on fourth down, convert with your legs, make tough throws over the middle in the tight windows, push the ball down the field. He can do it all. He just doesn't have the volume of throws that some of these other guys have. And he won't have to play right away in Minnesota. But if he earns it, think of the weapons that he has to work with at wide receiver, offensive line, and at running back. It is all set for him.
The talent is there, but of all the guys at the quarterback position that have been picked so far, this is the biggest gamble, because the sample size just isn't there like it is with the other guys. We've seen a plethora of throws, a plethora of reps from the other guys, but we haven't seen it with J.J. McCarthy. So when we talk about the National Football League being a projection and what can you do for me going forward, this is the biggest risk, I think, Mel.
Well, let me say this. It's the pressure to get the quarterback position right. It's the most important position in sports. That's why they're overdrafted. For J.J. McCarthy, we say, well, he didn't have to carry the team, right? It was Blake Corum, that offensive line, the defense. But he was stressed on third down and on fourth down that Alabama game. It was traditional old school ball. That's the way they played at Michigan. He didn't live on bubble screens. He didn't live on layups. He lived on passes between the hashes. Almost 30% of his completions between the hashes. It wasn't gimmicks like a lot of these quarterbacks that did those lofty stats and they're at 70% completion percentage. That's not what J.J. did. Fourth quarter, he only threw 34 passes. That's it. So he didn't need to be the guy. And late in the year, you think about games you're waiting for that statement game. Other guys are making plays. J.J. was doing what he needed to do. Win football games. I said he doesn't throw picks, but the picks he did throw were memorable. 2 in the semifinal game against TCU. 2 pick sixes there. 2 picks before the half against Maryland. He got back into that game, right? But overall, 27-1 as a starter. To me, J.J. McCarthy overdrafted. And I'll tell you what this does. It helps one quarterback, Bo Nix. Because now Bo Nix, there's a gap between Bo Nix, even though I have him down the line a little bit, Bo Nix to Spencer Rattler is a gap. So if you want to get a potential starting quarterback that has similarities in some ways to a young Drew Brees, Bo Nix is helped by these 5 quarterbacks going in the top 10. So he too may get overdrafted.
Well, bear in mind, the record for most quarterbacks to be drafted in round 1 is 6. We've had 5 taken so far. We're only 10 picks in here tonight. The Jets moving back 1 spot here. The Jets, there have been a lot of speculation. Do they go with the tight end and Brock Bowers, or do they go with offensive line help to try and protect Aaron Rodgers?
They got 2 tackles that haven't played every game in their career. They need to protect Aaron Rodgers. We saw how his season ended last year. He's got to be protected. When you're choosing between an offensive weapon or protection, you got to protect him.
Aaron Jones. They're both 33 years old.
Yes.
Aaron Smith and Logan Moses. Let's see if that's the direction they go. Here's Roger Goodell.
With the 11th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Olu Fashanu, Tackle, Penn State.
And those Jet fans should be happier than they look. He's 6'6", 312 pounds, a consensus All-American in the Big Ten's Offensive Lineman of the Year in 2023. Look at the excitement. That's what this night is about. The wildest dreams of these young men and their families coming true directly before your eyes. He started 21 games for the Nittany Lions, allowed just 1 sack. He was the teammate at Gonzaga College High School in D.C. of Caleb Williams, who went number 1 tonight. Now Olu Fashanu goes to the Jets.
Watch him play high school football at Gonzaga with Caleb. But Olu Fashanu is a talented athlete, kind of a Ronnie Stanley type player at 6'6", 312, with long arms, small but strong hands. He needs to get coached. Talk about J.C. Latham going to Tennessee, right, with Bill Callahan. Great offensive line coach. Think about Olu Fashanu with the New York Jets. Needs to be coached. He's got some things he's got to work on. Doesn't always sustain as well as you would like. Needs to play with more consistent leverage, right? Needs to make better initial contact.
I can't with football.